Hi guys, welcome back. This is my February small business goal review. If you're new here, I'm Molly Ann Bishop. I'm a ceramicist, an illustrator, an artist, and within all of those titles, I'm also a small business owner. What I want to do today is have a monthly check-in for last month, February. And this is something that businesses and corporate jobs do all of the time. But as a small business owner, I find it's really hard to carve out time from our days to really ask ourselves, how are we doing? Are we meeting our goals? What are our goals? So today I'm going to talk about how I review my small business and my role within it on a month-to-month basis. I'm going to show you all of the qualitative and quantitative things that I look at when I do a little small business check-in. And I'm hoping that this can be a framework that can be helpful for you. Whether you own your own business or you're an artist and have to be also a business person within that role, or even if none of those things apply to you, and if you just are somebody who sets goals, this kind of personal review will be helpful for you. Since we're our own bosses, we have to do this to stay on track and make sure that month to month we're aligning with the goals that we set for ourselves for the long term for our business. I'm hoping that it will help you build out a framework to do your own self check-ins, and it also is keeping me accountable by just filming this video. Okay, so we're gonna start out broadly with some wins and challenges from the month of February. You can call these roses and thorns or gems and rocks, but they're basically the things that went well and what needs improving on. I wanna take a moment here to talk about the wins part of all of it. I find it really hard as a self-employed person to celebrate my accomplishments. I don't have a manager or a boss to recognize when something is going well. So I have to do that for myself. And often I'm too busy or too scattered, too overwhelmed to even do that for myself. And I think that I want to push myself and push you to celebrate some wins this month. So for instance, I told my husband, Eric, when I reach 500 YouTube subscribers, I really want to celebrate, like go out to dinner or something. And 500 might not seem like that much to you, but to me, it's so cool. And I'm just so happy that every single one of you is here and watching this video. I'm very humbled by this. So let's talk about the wins and we can sort of celebrate them together. A win for me in February was finishing the design of all of the Clay People merch, and I ordered all of the products. So what I mean when I say this is every March I do a big launch of ceramics focused products. I'm a ceramicist and I also am a designer and illustrator, and I design t-shirts and accessories. And so I have a line within that design line that is tailored to ceramic fans, to people who work in clay. There's a clay conference every March, and I time this launch with the ceramics conference. This year it's in Salt Lake City, and unfortunately I can't make it. So I decided to do a pop-up here in Chicago, and I decided to use it as an excuse to get the Chicago ceramics community together. There are so many cool ceramicists here in Chicago that I don't even know yet because there haven't been a ton of community events. There are a ton of community studios, there's some wonderful universities in the city, and there's like all kinds of professional ceramicists who are working all throughout the city. So the pop-up that is happening for the Clay People launch is gonna happen here in town in Chicago at Penguin Foot Pottery, which is like one of the coolest studios. That is another win, is finding a venue that I really wanted to host this event at. They were my top choice, my dream choice, and I reached out and they said yes, which is amazing. But I'm just glad that they're taking a chance on this sort of like informal idea. It's a party, it's a sales event, it's a community meetup, it's all sorts of things, and they're just down. I also got Chicago Ceramic Supply on board, which is super cool. They are the place to buy tools and clay here in town, and they're gonna come and do a little raffle. So if you live in Chicago and you're a ceramicist or you want to make ceramicist friends, ceramicists are cool people, please come to the event on March 16th. The other cool thing about the Clay People launch is I filmed every step of the way of designing this product line, and I will have a bunch of YouTube videos about how to design a product line. A lot of you have asked me, how do you even begin to do that? I have got you. If you're interested in that kind of content, subscribe to my channel. Those videos will be coming later this month, and I will continue to make videos like that because I love talking about designing products, sourcing vendors, ideating, testing products, all of that. Another win, I designed and ordered all of the promotional material for this pop-up, and the postcards already came. They're so cute, and the flyers are coming in the next couple of days. And so I'll be spending the first half of March flyering all over town. Okay, another win, I finished all of my Valentine's Day commissions, which was a huge feat. I had a ton of commissions and it was a lot of work, but I powered through and got it done, and I'm proud of myself. I also grew my YouTube audience, which is amazing. I got all of these new subscribers, which thank you. Thank you for being here. A lot of it was from this one video that did really well. It wasn't what I expected, but it was amazing. So I'm super happy that all of you are here. Thank you for being here. I restocked one of my favorite shops in Chicago, the Center of Order and Experimentation. This place is straight out of a Wes Anderson movie. It is so well designed and so well curated, and the fact that they want to stock my stuff is really amazing. And we're even gonna do an in-person event together in April. It just goes to show you that your dream shops might be willing to work with you if you reach out to them. I have been needing a consistent 20-hour-a-week operations and customer service and marketing person for basically 2 years, and I've just been doing all of this stuff myself, which doesn't leave me a lot of time to make more YouTube videos, work in the ceramic studio, draw in my sketchbook, come up with new products. So I knew that this year I wanted to hire somebody, and in February I announced the position and posted the job description. I got a ton of great applicants, and I even interviewed 5 people last week. So I'm getting so much closer to hiring the right person who could be a good fit for MAB Inc. Another win that I'm so excited about, Pamplemousse, this wonderful gallery in Richmond, Virginia, they want to consign some of my things. So they're expanding their gallery, and they're gonna have a section that is more cash and carry, and they're gonna consign some more art objects. So they're interested in consigning a few of my pieces, and I think this is a really great opportunity for me. I respect the gallery so much. I've also been connecting so much more IRL with folks. Like, for instance, reaching out to Penguin Foot about hosting the pop-up there was such a great experience because I was able to meet up with Paige, one of the owners of Penguin Foot, and she showed me around one morning and we talked about what the event could be. It's just so great to connect with other small business owners in the city that you live in and be good resources for one another. It's like not even networking, it's just like making friends. As you guys know from my previous video about analog marketing, I'm feeling so energized about this kind of interaction and just building up my community in town, and these flyers are gonna be so cool. I will be flyering the heck out of this event, and I'm gonna be taking notes along the way to talk to you about how I think that analog marketing through flyering and handing out postcards and going to the right places where my audience might be has helped to get the word out about this event. So if you're interested in analog marketing, which I think a lot of you are, please subscribe to my channel because there will be a lot more videos about that, and we'll do some experiments together. Okay, let's go over some challenges or thorns from the month of February. And I think it's important when you're doing this yourself, and I will lead by example. I would like you to think about why these challenges occurred, what other circumstances occurred that allowed these things to happen, and how you can mitigate that or change things in the future to prevent these challenges from becoming a pattern. Let me show you what I mean. We'll go through my list. The first thing that is a thorn for my business in February is I didn't send a single newsletter, and I'm so bummed about that. One of my yearly goals was to send 2 newsletters a month, so I'm frustrated with myself that in February I didn't even send a single newsletter. And I think that the reason this happened was twofold. Number one, I was super busy with 2 big projects in February. The first half of the month was really consumed with finishing up product development for the Clay People launch and also finishing all of these Valentine's Day commissions. And then the second half of the month was filled with figuring out the in-person event, designing the flyer, and working on this freebie comic that I'll be giving away at the in-person event. The other reason I think that newsletters have been a little bit more challenging for me is I used to do essay style newsletters, and some of the YouTube videos that I'm making are video essay style answers to a lot of the questions that the newsletter was asking. So it made me think, what if I took some of my YouTube scripts and tried to reformat them, use them as a framework or an outline for an essay style newsletter, and maybe I could sort of kill two birds with one stone there. Okay, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but that's synergy, baby. Another bummer is I didn't get any time to work on lamps or like my capital A art, my art practice. And one of the reasons this happened is I had talked a little bit about carving out Mondays and Wednesdays for my art practice, but I post YouTube videos on Thursdays, so that means that Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays have a bunch of tasks in them. But throughout those days, I am scattering in filming and editing and shooting B-roll for this channel. I've added YouTube in, it's a lot of work, and I'm pacing my weeks around it, and it just doesn't leave a lot of time for that kind of exploration in the studio. Now, I have this strange draw towards YouTube. I love connecting with you guys on here, so I'm gonna keep doing YouTube. But I think what I'll do is carve out Fridays as my capital A art day, maybe even Thursday evenings and Friday days to be the time where I explore that. It's towards the end of the week, so I might have like a lot of momentum from the week. And so Friday actually seems like a really nice time to work on stuff like more lamps. That brings me into my next challenge or rock. I applied for a solo show at Pamplemousse. So I mentioned before that Pamplemousse has asked me to consign some pieces with them, which is really exciting. And all of this came about because I applied for a solo show at Pamplemousse. Well, I didn't get it, and that is a bummer. The application that had all of these lamps and figurative sculptural work, it was pretty strong, but ultimately I don't have enough pieces to sort of flesh out this world. And I'm thinking so much about craft and craft within art. If you want videos about this, can you let me know in the comments, by the way, because I'm reading and researching so much about this. It's like, really, don't get me started on William Morris. I will talk forever. Anyway, I have been doing so much research, and I think that I am getting ready to come up with a more cohesive idea for a solo show. So I will keep applying to things, but I just don't think that my application was strong enough to warrant a solo show, and I totally get it. But I'm excited that I can still consign with them and build on my relationship with them. And then if they have a call out for solo shows in the future, I will definitely keep applying. So when I do this exercise and I look back at everything I did in February and all of my wins and even my challenges, I realize I did so much in February. I mean, I didn't even mention so much of the stuff I did in this list. Like, I designed a whole zine for the Clay People pop-up and Rizo printed it with the help of my assistant. I finished a sketchbook. I have been researching a ton. It's kind of crazy because in February, I had like, the first half of February, I had like a little bit of a breakdown. Like, it's been a really, really, really tough month. It doesn't help that it's winter here in Chicago. So this is really helpful to see that, like, even though I felt like it was like such a tough month in reflection, I really still got a ton of stuff done. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I wish that I would have maybe taken a little bit of time for myself in February to give myself a little bit more love and care while I was going through a harder time, because I just worked through all of it and like kind of challenged myself too much and pushed too hard. But I am going to Mexico in March for a very well-deserved vacation, so I'm keeping my eyes on that prize. Okay, so the next thing I like to do after doing like overarching wins and challenges is look at all of the numbers from the web shop, wholesale, and consignment vendors, and my in-person events. This month was quite slow. I didn't have any new products and I didn't advertise anything really on any of my channels, and that's okay. There are slow months. February is slow. Like, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I know that the Clay People launch will be good, and I just need to focus on marketing for that and know that like there are slow months and then there are good months. The other takeaway from looking at my sales numbers in February is that fair and wholesale continues to be a steady base that's like really great to have. Next, I look at the categories of my business and break down certain KPIs for each one. Okay, so marketing, Like I said, I didn't do a newsletter, which is a bummer. I did grow my newsletter audience a little bit by just having my pop-up on my website, so that's good. Then the month of February, my newsletter audience grew by 1.15%. So having these numbers is helpful. You can see like what's working and what's not. We're gonna really work on growing that newsletter audience in the coming months. For my KPIs for Instagram, I don't get too deep into this because there's a lot of metrics that you can play around with. All of the data on Instagram is available for 90 days, so it is kind of nice to jot down some key metrics before that data disappears. For the month of February, I posted 4 reels and 7 posts. Within those posts, I had 2 static posts and 5 carousels. My follower growth was up by 0.5%. Comparing that to last month, it is a much bigger increase. Within this Notion template, I write down all of these numbers. Then I look at what views the reels got and look at the best performing reel and the worst performing reel based on views. And then I sort of take some notes. So for instance, for me, in February, my best performing reel was the trailer for the YouTube video, My Marketing Epiphany. And I'm really proud of that reel because I took a lot of time to edit it down to sort of give the feeling and the thesis of the video, but in the most efficient way possible and still try to pull people to YouTube. My worst performing reel was also another trailer for a YouTube video. I made a YouTube video about making a quilt, and that video was a little bit rambly and all over the place. I really understand why that YouTube video did not perform well and the subsequent reel about it didn't perform well. Yeah, it's just all data collection and learning. Okay, also regarding marketing, I talked a lot in my last video about analog marketing, and that's still gonna be something that I do. Like I said, I made these flyers for this event and I will be flyering all over Chicago. I will be making a video that talks a bit about that process and trying to gauge how much of the attendance at the event is a result of this kind of boots on the ground marketing. My other KPIs are related to YouTube, but I sort of feel like you kind of get the idea. The numbers that I'm pulling are my audience growth. I gained 137 new subscribers, which is amazing. I'm so happy. And my best performing video was the Marketing Epiphany video. It was scripted. It solved a problem that other people have. I did not intend to make videos like this for YouTube, but it's important to listen to what your audience responds to and what your audience wants. Okay, finally, it's time to set my goals for March. I think it's helpful after you go through all of these things to set some concrete goals for the following month based on your takeaways from your goal review from the past month. So March will be really focused on marketing and also making functional ceramic work, which is really exciting. I also will hire my new assistant and I need to onboard them and get them feeling comfortable in the studio. So that's it. Thanks for going over my February with me. I hope that the way that I do this check-in can sort of serve as an outline for you and potentially give you a little push to do this kind of self-reflection for your own business or art practice or just yourself. And I'm curious, will you let me know in the comments what worked for you in your business this month or what didn't? Like, what were some of your roses? What were some of your thorns? Your wins, your challenges? Like, let me know in the comments. Let's celebrate your wins. Let's brainstorm some of your challenges and let's look forward to a wonderful March. So thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more small business content just like this. See you next week.